The extension, is that a big statement about with signing day coming up here in a number of weeks, and a lot of it is tied to signing day and showing something to the recruits?
Yeah, I don't know if it's just tied to signing day. This had nothing to do with that. I think it had to do with the building of the culture of what we're doing, the cultural sustainability we want to have here at the University of Minnesota. My commitment to the University of Minnesota, their commitment back to us as a coaching staff. It's an honor to coach here. It's a privilege, and I love every minute of it. I love these players. I love what we get to do on a daily basis. I love the traditions at the University of Minnesota, and that's why you come here. And I'm just thankful to represent the entire state as your head football coach, but represent something even greater in terms of what we're going to accomplish in the future. And it takes time. When you haven't done something for 50 years, it takes time. And we've had 6 coaches in 11 years. I'm just very grateful and very blessed to have the opportunity to lead everybody here. And I know our coaching staff feels the same way. And I know our players are really excited this morning too. So that's what really matters. In terms of the recruiting part, it always helps, to know people are going to be around for a very long time, and that's what I want to continue to show and prove. And it was easy. It was definitely easy to be able to sit there and say yes to the University of Minnesota. And I give our administration a lot of credit. They see it. They see the vision. They see every day. What a lot of people don't see is the day-to-day things from January till now, from what you walk into, all the different things that are going on, to be able to settle that part down, fix a lot of that part, make a lot of very tough and difficult decisions, and then continue to get Minnesota on a national stage away from all the things that didn't happen in a positive way and shed a positive light for the last few years at the University of Minnesota. So I think we've been able to do that. We've the wins with 5 wins. It's not exactly where everybody wants to be, but again, it's a start. And we lost 4 really, really close games. If you look back to even last year, they won really 4 really close games, and that's kind of the big difference. So I think it encompasses everything, academically, athletically, socially, spiritually, our commitment to making this place elite.
Did you expect an extension? I guess, did you ask for the extension, or was it offered to you?
Oh, no, you don't go and ask for an extension as a coach. You never do that, This was something that was brought to me by Mark Coyle, and I was very honored to be able to receive the news, and we talked about it a few days ago. And when you're in season, you're just grinding, you're going. You're recruiting, you're developing, you're doing all your media things, you're coaching. And you don't really have time for all of that stuff, but I give them a lot of credit to be able to see the big picture of where we're headed. It takes a while when you almost basically hit a restart button. And so again, very honored and very privileged.
You mentioned a minute ago tough decisions. How much did you weigh, or have you weighed, instilling accountability where it might put a lesser player on the field in a game or make you weaker in a position, but just be a non-negotiable on that?
Well, I think when I first got hired too, I said that I'll never sacrifice doing the right thing for a win, ever. I never have, and I never will. And that's me as a coach. That's me as a teacher, as a 6th grade social studies teacher, as a dad, as a husband. That's something I will never do. And that's tough to do at times, because what could maybe make you better on the field and kind of cover up some things isn't the right thing to do. And one thing I want our players to always learn, players have learned this in pretty much every football program, but what I really want them to take away is service and giving are huge, and accountability to yourself and your teammates is above anything else. And if you do something that's against what the rules are, you're going to pay a price. And my job is to make sure even these seniors, that only had 10 months with us, that have the ability when they go out and become the husbands and the fathers that they want to be, that they can reflect back 10 years from now. You know what? I maybe not agreed with Coach at that point, but I now see why he made that decision, and it made me a better man. That's what you remember as a player. I remember all the decisions that had to be made about me, including being cut. Best decision of that person making it for my rest of my future in my life. I didn't see that at the time, and now they're some of my greatest mentors. So it's being able to do the right thing in really, really tough times. But that's what we're going to continue to do here. But I think a lot of players have learned valuable lessons. I think our whole teams have learned a ton of lessons this year. It's been an incredible learning year for everybody. not only just our fans that follow us, but our players, our coaching staff, our seniors, our freshmen. But we'll continue to do that. That's for sure, Chip.
You said that you met with Coyle a few days ago. What was his message in that meeting, and then kind of why make the decision for an extension now at this point?
Well, I don't make the decision in terms of the time frames or when it happens. But we discussed at towards the beginning of the week, just in terms of ability to have an extension and go through our basically evaluation of where the whole program's at, not just a win-loss, not just a score, the whole program in general. Where is it at? Where were we in January? Where did we get to here? I didn't say where we were in September of last year. I said where we were as an entire culture, everything on the field, off the field, academically, athletically, socially, spiritually, everything in January to where we are now. And Mark felt that we wanted to continue this as we continue to go into the future. And like I said, I'm very honored to be able to represent University of Minnesota and to represent our administration, our faculty on a national athletic stage and our entire state of Minnesota. And I'm glad that he feels like he wants us to do that for a lot longer into the future. And I love that. I love that type of commitment, and I had no problem giving that commitment back. With all the change in college football and all the different things and rumors and all those things that go out there, I wanted to make it very clear I wanted to be at the University of Minnesota, and that was easy, and those are the statements you can make that support your players, the administration, the state, the university. And I hear everybody. I know there's going to be people that are really excited. I know there's people like, oh, no, we got to have this guy again. But it's, the change is hard. It has been hard for everybody, but hopefully you see how it's changing, and if you don't, you will see it in the future.
Rumors? Did anybody reach out to your agent, Brian?
I won't comment on all of those things. I won't comment on all those things that, in terms of things that are rumors, speculation, contact, no contact. I won't comment on all those. I'm at the University of Minnesota. That's the only school I worry about.
You guys have any more for Coach? Coach, you talked a lot about stability when you came here. How important is it to make that commitment now to start developing that?
I think it's incredibly critical for any person's success. Especially long-term success. We're playing a team that's one of the best teams in college football this year. And I've said this earlier. What do they have? Cultural sustainability over the last 30 years. And what have they done? The series is tied, 59 wins and 59 wins. But when you look at the last 25 years, it's been completely flipped, right? And that's the cultural sustainability. When you have 6 head coaches in 11 years, and like I said, I use this analogy all the time. It's like having, if we had 3 head coaches in 3 years, that's like having 3 dads in 3 different years, or 3 stepdads, and saying, don't worry, you can trust me. Don't worry, you can trust me. Oh, we're going to build this and it continues to change with their decision or not their decision. And that's very tough for young people. It's about the young people. It's about our players. It's about our student athletes. It's about them. It's about their growth. It's not just about the wins and the losses. If you have better people that are doing all the right things, you will eventually get better results. And that's what we're planning on. That's what our vision is. That's what we did at this previous stop. And I have no problem taking the growing pains. I get it. I said even next year, we're going to be younger next year before we actually get more experienced. It's a step-by-step process as you go through this. But again, I think it's key for young people to have the same message over and over and over as they develop in it. Because there's one thing to be able to master something over a long period of time. It's like changing your trade every year. Well, I'm gonna be a drywall guy this year. Okay, next I'm gonna be the flooring guy. Okay, and then I'm gonna switch up, and now I'm gonna be the plumber. Okay, and then this year I want to do doors and windows. You're gonna do all these things, but you're not gonna be a master of anything. And that's very similar for when you have a lot of change in a program in a lot of years. And that's what we want to change. We want to be able to be that carpenter. All right, but we want to be really good at what we do within all things within the same system and just continue to make that better. And I think that's how you become a champion. That's how you continue to grow. And it's not just a flash in the pan. It becomes a cultural championship style program. And that's what we want to be able to have. You got it, guys. Row the boat, Sky Ma. Go Gophers. Thanks for coming out.